Each and every month, I do my very best to round up a list of games that are coming to the Switch in the following month. But unfortunately, I've got some bad news this time. Everything for the month of April has been canceled. Oh, who am I kidding? Of course there's tons of games releasing this month. This is the Switch we're talking about. I'm Zian from Nintendo Life, and today we're going to be taking a look at 11 games releasing on the Nintendo Switch in the month of April in the year 2021. And only 2 of them are remasters, so sit down and take a look at this list, Paisanos. Having already launched on the Switch on the 6th, Breathedge is a first-person survival game set in outer space. You'll be scavenging for parts and supplies to craft new tools, build up a space station of your own, and eventually a ship to get you off the mess you've found yourself in. I'm not too sure exactly what's going on with the story, but it's interesting because from the trailer, the game looks extremely dramatic, but then when you go ahead and read the eShop listing, it seems like it has a much more comedic tone to it. Apparently, the story starts out with you trying to take your grandfather's remains or your father's remains or something to go have something special done with them in outer space, and you also happen to have an immortal chicken with you that's been passed down through the generations of your family. So I guess I'm not too sure exactly what to expect from this game at all, but let us know down below in the comments if any of you have actually played this one yet. Considering the fact that Disney sort of retconned a lot of the original Star Wars expanded universe when they took over the license, it's interesting to see them allow a lot of these classic games to come back, like Star Wars Republic Commando on April 6th. This FPS comes from the days of the PS2 and the OG Xbox. You play as a team of commandos following a somewhat seemingly dark campaign. The game supposedly bridges a gap between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. I never played it back in the day myself, but it seems like a lot of Star Wars fans have a soft spot for this one, even though most were probably playing the Battlefront series. Let us know if you're excited to give this one a shot too. Launching on the 8th is Cozy Grove, and after one look at its gameplay and its graphics, it's very deserving of its name. This is a comfy camping adventure set on the Isle of Cozy Grove, which surprisingly happens to be haunted by spirits, and it's up to you to figure out what is troubling them and to see if you can make them your friends. Think Wisp in Animal Crossing, but on a full scale. The developers claim the game will have a 40-hour campaign full of side quests, fish to catch, spirit animals to find, and much more. What I'm curious to learn though is that if this will feature an in-game clock like Story of Seasons, or if everything will be based on a real-world clock. Because if so, this could be a nice little game to give Animal Crossing players something new to try out every day. Then on the 9th comes the final entry in the unique turn-based RPG series with The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 4. This series originally began in the West on PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita back in 2015 and 2016, and amassed quite a following with JRPG fans. This 4th entry does give me some Xenosaga or Dot Hack flashbacks though, where if you're not familiar with the series, it could be a bit tough to jump straight into this one. The 3rd entry is available on Switch, but unfortunately you'll have to look elsewhere for the other 2. And with the PlayStation Vita and the PlayStation 3 store going down later this year, it's going to be even harder to try to get into these series, so hopefully the first 2 make their way to Switch as well. But regardless, this military school life drama could be worth your time if you've got some extra to kill. Another game that could interest the anime crowd is a new game launching on April 13th called Poison Control. This is a third-person shooter, sort of, where you're tasked with purifying the spirits of their negative energy. It looks like it features a few elements from Splatoon almost, but not necessarily as fast-paced. I do really appreciate the art style and menus though. They remind me a lot of what you'd expect to see from the Persona series with how stylish they are. I also noticed that one version of the playable main character looks kind of like a mix of the protagonist Mondo from Killer is Dead and Francis York Morgan from Deadly Premonition 2. Very specifically Deadly Premonition 2. Poison Control looks like a pretty unique entry, and for that, I just felt like putting it on this list. Don't you hate it when someone comes along and dumps out a big trash bag on your day? Well, how would it feel to mess up someone else's day with no real-world repercussions? Come the 15th of April, you'll be able to terrorize others however you like and rain on your parade. But you have to be a cloud. And it's only a game, so it's okay. Each level revolves around you, a cloud, flying around and raining all over the place. One level may have you finding a way to cause an electrical fire, or the next might have you simply soaking someone's wedding. There are also missions where you'll have to rain hail, rocks, or snow. And in the trailer, we got a small glimpse at a stealth level where the cloud is wearing a bandana like Solid Snake. I love it. If you're a fan of games like Katamari Damacy, Part-Time UFO, and Untitled Goose Game, keep your eyes on this one. This could be a good one. Also coming to the Switch on the 15th is the return of a classic JRPG from the PS1, SaGa Frontier Remastered. From what I remember, the hook with the SaGa series is that you're able to play through the journey multiple times with different characters to see the story from a different perspective. And this remaster is including a new character, bringing the total to 8 playable characters and potential playthroughs. I played a bit of the second one back in the day and it didn't really click with my Final Fantasy obsessed brain at the time, but I'm looking forward to giving this one a go in the future now that it'll be easily accessible. I'm not the biggest fan of the way the characters and background elements have sort of just been smoothed out, but hopefully there will be some graphical options so we can see those pixels truly shine. If you're a fan of top-down arcade beat-em-ups like Gauntlet, which I guess I don't know someone who isn't, you'll be happy to hear a brand new title called Battle Axe is hitting the Switch on the 16th. This classical co-op adventure is fueled by the games that inspired it, and fully owns it. The combat is simple and straightforward, but the pixel art is glorious and full of depth, and the soundtrack is composed by Manami Matsume, the composer of the original Magic Sword soundtrack and the first Mega Man soundtrack as well. The developers wanted to make a game based on the things they loved back in the day, and the more I dig into this game, the more I want to pick it up myself as well. Then finding its way onto Switch on the 22nd is an intriguing mashup called Smelter. You play as Eve, who's equipped with a living set of clothing, which also shares a striking resemblance to the Kamui in Kill la Kill. I can't be the only one that thought that, right? This suit of armor gives Eve a ton of unique powers to take down enemies in 2D side-scrolling levels. It sort of seems like a mashup of Mega Man and Shantae. But then the overworld has you controlling an army in top-down strategic battles to unlock new levels. Add in the fact that there's already a pretty promising soundtrack and a unique art style, and this could be a surprise title for the month. We'll just have to wait and see once the 22nd rolls around. April 30th marks the return of the classic side-scrolling shmup with RType Final 2. On the surface, the combat doesn't appear to have changed too much beyond some new ship customization features, but wow, is this game a looker. If you've been around with the RType series all these years, this looks like it's sure to please fans. And if you're on the fence, there is actually a demo you can go download on the eShop before you actually take the plunge. I've always preferred vertical shooters myself versus horizontal, but people are always singing praises of the RType series, so I should probably go download the demo at least. And then last, but certainly not least, is the follow-up Pokemon fans have been crying out for years. New Pokemon Snap. I really thought we were done with this naming convention, but I'm not gonna complain. If you're unaware, this spin-off is sort of an on-rail shooter where you ride around and capture pictures of Pokemon. Then at the end of each level, you'll get graded on how well your photos actually turned out. The best part of it all, though, in my opinion, is getting to see how these Pokemon act and interact with each other in the wild. In the mainline Pokemon games, it's rare we actually get the chance to stop and observe them in their daily lives because we're so obsessed with battling and catching them. Pokemon Snap and its sequel, New Pokemon Snap, is all about seeing them in the wild. We've still yet to go actually hands-on with this one, but things are looking extremely promising, and if you want to learn more, John got a behind-the-scenes look at the game and put together a fancy video all about it, so we'll leave a link to that in the description down below. And there you have it, almost a dozen games releasing on the Nintendo Switch in the month of April. Be sure to let us know in the comments down below if any of these particular games pique your fancy, or if there's something else coming out that you think we should have put on this list. And as always, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more content like this, then why don't you go ahead and feed an apple to that subscribe button, you know? Get it to be your friend, and then snap a picture of it and make a quick buck off of it. And then ring that notification bell to be notified whenever we put up a new video. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm ZM from Nintendo Life. Stay safe out there, and we will see you next time.